Hello, good morning, happy Monday. It's the start of a new vlog. And this week I'm working mostly closing shifts, so I have the mornings to myself. So hopefully I'll be a little more productive than I've been the last few weeks. Because something's gotta give. And I keep saying it, but I think this week is the week. I think this is the week. How many times can I say that? Anyway, the reading plans for this week are to read Powerless by Elsie Silver. I am still 108 pages in. I said I was going to read, and then every time I've gone to read, I've fallen asleep. So it hasn't gone great for me, that plan. And then next, after I finish that, which I hope I will do either today or tomorrow, because now I'm a day behind, me and my friend Lorna are continuing with our Hunger Games reread. So we are reading Mockingjay, and we were aiming to be able to start today because I thought I was going to finish Powerless over the weekend, but I didn't. So I'm going to try and finish Powerless today so that I can at least start Mockingjay tomorrow, so I won't be too far behind. That being said, I do have like an hour before I have to start getting ready for work, so I am going to sit and read Powerless, or at least try to, while my kitten behaves like a possessed creature. So anyway, welcome to the vlog, and I'll check in later. Good morning, friends. It's Tuesday. It's much later in the morning. It's like 11:30. I slept a lot later than intended, but I do have a reading update for you. I managed to read up to page 261. So I read, let's see, because I can't do math. I mean, I can do math, but I don't want to do math. So I'm going to let my calculator do math for me. So yesterday I read 153 pages, which is pretty good. And so today the goal is to finish Powerless so that I can start Mockingjay, because I have to text Lorna, but we were supposed to start Mockingjay yesterday, and that obviously didn't happen. So today I have the day off. Mostly I intend to just relax. I do have some cleaning that I want to get done, but relaxing and reading is top priority for the day. So hello, it's been many hours. I'm laying in bed though. I did leave the house, but I'm back and I'm laying in bed. I had to vote. So I ran some errands, and then I voted in our New Hampshire primary. And I have read quite a bit of Powerless. I'm on page 338, so I think I'll do the math later, but I've read a lot. I have a lot of feelings about this one. I am enjoying it more than I liked Flawless, which is the first one, but not as much as I liked Heartless, which is the second one. I just feel like there's so much miscommunication happening for a relationship that, like, they've been best friends. Like, it just feels like maybe they should have better communication skills between the two of them, and that makes it hard for me. I understand to some extent why what originally kept Jasper away from Sloane, but I feel like at some point, like, you would grow up and move past that and not be focused on that. Hello, Midnight. She says, Mama. And then with Sloane, it's very weird. The dynamic between her family is weird, and I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it does seem weird to me that a 28-year-old woman would listen to her father to the extent that Sloane did. But I suppose there's like comments that vaguely infer that he's pretty abusive verbally and emotionally, so I guess that makes sense that she would listen the way that she does. But I'm not sure how I feel about it in totality. But anyway, me and Midnight, we are gonna read some more until I finish the book. But yeah, that's the update. Hey. Hey, it's Friday afternoon. Sorry I've been MIA. It's been a week. Wednesday, I think it was, I wasn't feeling good. I woke up, I had a migraine, and it was so bad that when I tried to make myself some lunch, I ended up fainting. So I just didn't have much energy to be like talking on camera. And then yesterday I worked, but I have done quite a bit of reading. I finished Flawless, which I don't have right here on me, so I can't hold it. But I liked it. I think I'm going to give it... I want to say a 3.5. I liked it a little bit better than... Oh, did I say Flawless? I meant Powerless. So I finished Powerless. I think I'm giving it a 3.5 star rating. I think I liked it better than Flawless, which I also gave a 3.5 rating to, but I didn't like it enough, I think, to give it a 4-star rating. So maybe like if I did 3.75s, which I don't usually, I would give it a 3.75. Like, when do you cut? My phone died, or my camera died, so now you're getting me talking to you on my phone, because if I don't finish it, if I like wait for my camera to charge, then I probably won't do the update that I've been meaning to do. So, but like, where do you cut it off? Like, I know a lot of people do like the quarter ratings, especially since Storygraph allows it. But I just, like, it gets so complicated. Like, how do you keep track of that? Anyway, I have done quite a bit of reading as well in Mockingjay. My goal is to finish it today because I do have the day off. I'm on chapter 12. We are in part 2, the assault. Let's see. Yeah. So, I'm on chapter 12. Which is part 2, the assault. And I am so stressed out. and I am so stressed out and so emotional. Gail infuriates me, but that is nothing new compared to the other 2 books. Peeta, I love him. I will always love him, but it is very sad what's going on with him right now. It's hard to talk about this because it's like the 3rd book, and I know that these books are older and there's movies, so like really I feel like anybody who's wanted to read them could have read them, but I'm not going to spoil them, so it's hard to talk about. But Catching Fire, I think so far is my favorite of the 3 books, which is weird because usually the 2nd book falls short for me in a trilogy, because you have the 1st book, which is setting everything up, and then the 3rd book, which is wrapping everything up, but you have just the 2nd book, which is like the in-between, and I feel like sometimes those kind of fall off the wayside. But I read Catching Fire in like less than 12 hours, and I've been reading this now since yesterday, so I'm making good progress on it today, and I bet I could finish it today if I really wanted to. But we'll just see. I have some other things that I need to do, and I just finished a chapter, so I was gonna do this little update and then go work on my things. Also, I think, oh my god, so the VMAs, were they last night? No, they weren't last night. They were the 11th, so 2 nights ago, and Chapel Roan dressed as a knight, and she was giving very much paladin energy, and so there's a little part of me that wants to start a paladin run on Baldur's Gate and actually romance Shadowheart or Karlach, because I've been saying that I'm going to romance one of them literally for so long, and I just haven't done it because I keep getting sucked into Astarion. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Anyway, that's my update. I'll check in later. It's Saturday. It's about almost 11, and I have to go in to work, but I thought I would do a quick check-in because I did finish Mockingjay last night. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. because I got to just like the end of it all, and there was no good place for me to stop. So I was like, one more chapter. And then I checked, and I only had like 3 more chapters left in an epilogue, and I was like, you know what? Fine. Whatever. I'll just finish it. You know, I'm up so late anyway, might as well just finish. But I really enjoyed Mockingjay. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5 star rating. So Catching Fire got a 5 star, but I think Mockingjay is gonna get a 4.5 because there were some parts that I felt I wanted like more of. Like I wanted more of Peeta, really, is what it comes down to. And I know there's a reason why. Obviously, we didn't have a lot of Peeta, but even when we could have had more Peeta, I felt like we didn't get enough Peeta. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, but that's how I feel, and so I'm giving it a 4.5 star. I also want to mention that when I was younger, I hated the epilogue. I have always felt like the book should have ended with real or not real, and then end of the book. But now that I'm 34, I appreciate the epilogue, and I'm happy that it's there. So that's how I feel. about that. I am starting Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I found it on Kindle Unlimited, so I brought my Kindle with me to work, so I'll start that on my lunch. I have a pretty long shift today, but it's not a closing shift, so that's good. I'll still have some time after work to finish some of the chores that I didn't finish yesterday, and to finish editing the vlog, because again, I'm behind, but not as behind as I was before, so I'm not beating myself up, because why? I'm doing this for fun, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not out here trying to do anything really with this, with these vlogs. I just like making them. So I have gotten back into the headspace of these are just mostly for me because I like making them. I think it's fun. And I will post them like when I'm able to, because life's too short to beat myself up over a little silly passion project. You know what I mean? So that's that. That's my update. I'll probably have more to say about Hunger Games in a little bit, but I do have to go into work, so I'm gonna do that. And I will check in later. Hey, it's Sunday afternoon, so it's almost the end of the vlog, but not quite, and it's also almost evening and not afternoon anymore, but that's fine. I'm home from work, and I wanted to do a quick update because I didn't update you. Yesterday I read during my 15-minute break, but then I didn't read during my half hour because Charlotte ended up coming to visit me at work, which was so nice of her. So I didn't read, and then I got home and I had a bad day. So we just watched Vampire Diaries. I didn't do any reading. I just watched Vampire Diaries and it was incredible. I'm having a great time. So I've read 6 pages, a whopping 6 pages, but that's okay because I think I read like almost 300 pages on Friday, so it all evens out. But I'm gonna read now. Charlotte doesn't get out of work till 7, so she probably won't be home for a couple more hours, probably closer to 7:30-ish when she gets home. So I have a good at least 2.5 hours to read before she arrives home. So we'll see how much I can get read. In Icebreaker, essentially, I don't know much 6 pages in. I know that Anastasia is our main character. She's our main girl. She is an ice skater, and she is hungover currently, and she's trying to nail a trick, and it's not going well. And she's also having a friends with benefits situation with somebody who is not the love interest of the story. So we haven't met our love interest yet. So I am going to continue on and I'll update you. I'll remember to update you, I promise. I promise. So I read up until the end of chapter 1, and then I accidentally fell asleep. So I didn't read much, and now Charlotte and I are gonna go get dinner, but I am gonna go meet her downstairs. So I have it on my Kindle, and I'll read while I wait. I swear I'll read some more of this tonight, but probably not much, to be honest. I'm very tired, and I feel like Vampire Diaries is on the docket for when we get back home from dinner. So hey friends, it's Monday, and it's been a while since we did like a vlog wrap up, but I'm sitting down to do some work. So I thought we'd bring them back because that's one of the ways that I stayed on top of things previously. So we're going to go back to what was working, since what I'm currently doing is not working. You know what I mean? So I figured we'd do a quick wrap up and then we'd get started on the new weekly vlog. But anyway, this week I finished 2 books and we started a third, so it was a really good reading week. I think we were in the middle of Powerless when we started the vlog, and so I read the rest of Powerless by Elsie Silver. This was really cute. I liked it a lot. It's not my favorite. So far my ranking is Heartless, Powerless, and Flawless. This was good. It was like a what did I say it was? Maybe a 4. Now that I'm sitting on it, I think it's gonna get a 4. I gave Heartless a 5, and then I gave Flawless a 3.5. So I think I'm gonna give this a 4. I might have said earlier that it was a 3.5, 3.75, but I can't remember. But I think, thinking back on it, I'm gonna give it a 4-star read. I liked it. I thought the relationship was really cute. I had some issues with the fact that it was, I mean, the main plot of this is basically a miscommunication between our 2 characters and how they feel about each other. But I thought, like, once we realized that, it was kind of like, I was a little confused why it kind of continued to go on and why there was an issue, if you know what I mean. And I didn't love it as much as I loved Heartless. So ultimately, we're giving this one a 4-star. I'm very excited to read Reckless, though I've been hearing more things about Hopeless, which is the last book in the series. So I'm a little nervous about that one, if I'm being honest with you guys. So anyway, that one was a 4-star read. And then we have Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I love The Hunger Games. I'm having so much fun rereading it. I do think that I'm going to give this one a 4.5. I gave Catching Fire a 5-star read because I literally couldn't put it down. This one I didn't feel the same about. And I just felt like there were things that we didn't see enough of. And that we moved on from too fast. And I can't really go into it because it is the 3rd book. And even though it is an older series and a lot of people have read it, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't read it and is considering picking it up, because I think these books are such a valuable and critical read, because they address a lot of the same questions we are dealing with now between in like our political system. Suzanne Collins has a lot to say, and she says it with these books. Like, there's no way to get around it. There's no way really to read it any other way other than a political statement, and I think it's strong in its statement. But from the characters, I kind of wished there was more, especially for Peeta with the things that he was struggling with. It is kind of hard to do that though, because it is a book from Katniss's perspective. It's not a book from Peeta's perspective. So I understand why we didn't get much of that, but I do wish we had seen a little bit more interaction between Katniss and Peeta and see how that played out, like for like the third quarter. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you disagree with me, but I think you know what part I'm talking about. And I also hate Gale. He's one of the worst characters that I have ever read. Like, I think he's one of my least favorite characters of all time. If Gale has no haters, I'm dead. I don't understand how you could ship Gale and Katniss. Like, if you've read the books, I don't know how you can be a Gale Katniss shipper. It doesn't make sense to me. Peeta for life. Anyway, so 4.5 stars for Mockingjay. And then we started Icebreaker. Sorry, the cat did something funny. So we've started Icebreaker. I read up until page 76 of this last night before I fell asleep. So I have gotten a little bit of the way through, and essentially, I haven't talked about it much, so I'll talk about it a little bit. Essentially, Anastasia is a figure skater, and she is coming up on some kind of tournament that's very important to determine whether she might be able to go to the Olympics. And then something happens to the ice rink, and the hockey team and the figure skating team have to share a rink. And she meets our male main character, Nathan, who is the captain of the hockey team, and he is very interested in Anastasia. And Anastasia at first was like really anti-Nathan, but we are like, they're like hooking up like 70 pages into this. And that's not what I expected from the back of the book. So that kind of threw me for a loop. And I'm not like against it. I'm not against also seeing our main male character and our main female character hooking up with other people other than the love interests at the beginning of the book, because I do think it adds to like the element of the fact that this is a college romance. Like, chances are you're gonna have gone on dates or hooked up with somebody else, and like that doesn't bother me, but I could see where it could be a problem for some people. I wouldn't say it's the best writing I've ever read, but I'm having a good time reading it, so I'm gonna continue. And yeah, that's the end of the vlog. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.